Alright guys, welcome back to another review today. In this video, we're gonna take a look at our brand new dungeon. That is Phantom Shogun's Grove. Grove. This dungeon was designed so people can get superior extract used to ascend accessories. Alright, so I don't think this dungeon is too hard for my account, but it's kind of complicated. I will explain to you guys in this video how it works, all the information you need to know. But first, let's take a look at accessory ascension. Basically, the way it works is there are these main stats you can get, right? For the ring, honestly, for the ring, I don't think it really worth the resources. It only give you a tiny bit. Look at this. Even this is attack, it's just a tiny bit of attack. I really don't know if you should invest your resources into this, right? And for the amulet, you can get these flat stats, which is pretty much useless, and crit damage. Crit damage is useful, but you have 1 out of 4 chance, 25% chance to get this one. Alright. And as for the champion that is defensive, right? The champion like Duchess, where you need HP main stats, I think it's even not worth your resources to do this, because it just gives you the extra stats it gives you is so tiny that it won't make a difference. That's how I feel about this. And then for the amulet, so for the banner, that's a big part, right? You can get these 3 flat stats, which is pretty much useless, and then you can get accuracy and resistance, which is a huge part. I think this thing maxed out is gonna give you like 30 accuracy, which is huge. Alright, so the only type of champion that might worth your resources to go for the ascension is crit damage right here. And I think it's really easy to do because like the secondary stats here are pretty much irrelevant. What you're gonna do is just to get a crit damage amulet that has crit damage ascension bonus. I think it's very easy to do, similar to the speed boost that you want speed bonus, right? You can, like, you're gonna get one. It's 1 out of 4 chance, right? And for this one, this is a little bit tough, right? Let's say if you want an accuracy banner and you want accuracy ascension bonus, this might be a bit tough, right? This is the tougher part. So the good thing is, as for the champion that is using like HP banner or defense banner, you don't even need to ascend it. The stats it gives you is too tiny, like I said, right? It's not even worth your resources. So that's it for the accessory ascension introduction. Let's go into the dungeon itself. I believe you guys, let's assume you guys saw the video that the Racial Alliance official YouTube website post, but it didn't really explain very well. I haven't done stage 25 because it's kind of waste time. Alright, I think that if I have to say the difficulty of this dungeon, it really depends, because they used a very nasty way to design this dungeon. So hear me out, please. Alright, there is a very stupid passive here that's called Shade Counter. So it's too long. I'm not gonna read all this. Basically, if this Shade Counter goes up, the boss will one-shot your team. That's what you need to know. Alright, you're gonna keep the Shade Counter as low as possible. And the way you're gonna remove this Shade Counter is to use as Awakened Champion. Holy crap, Plarium, what the hell? Why? And the problem is, it is the only way to reduce this counter. There's no other way. There's no other way other than use Awakened Champion. Which means, if your champion, if none of the champion are awakened, not even 1 star, this dungeon is unbeatable. Even on lower stage, it's just not doable, right? How are you gonna remove that shade counter? There's just no other way, right? Other than use Awakened Champion to use any skill, right? So any guide that any content creator put out there is not for everybody. Let's say I was able to beat stage 25 with this team, but if you have all these champions and let's say you don't have enough Awaken level, you might fail. That's really the problem. So I'm just feeling like, did Plarium design this because the Soulstone pack didn't sell very well? Is that the reason? I'm just kind of wondering, like, for all you guys out there who spend even a little bit of money on the game, do you guys even spend on soulstone, or you guys just spend on the shards? I don't know, right? I just feel like they designed this type of stuff because the soulstone pack didn't sell well, and they want people to use awakened champion. That's the only reason. I think this is kind of, I don't want to say the R word, but I don't like this. All right, I kind of don't like this. I can beat this for sure, but well. So let me just go into the battle and show you guys how the skill kit of this boss works. Like, I can beat this boss consistently with this team. This is stage 22, by the way, not 25. So first thing first, there is one way to cheese 2 turns out of this boss. All right, you can see the boss has like all these skills available, but the boss is not using it. The reason is I got a stone skin on one of my champions. So the first thing you need to know is if you have like a 2-turn stone skin buff on your champion, the boss will always target that stone skin champion and not use any of this skill. So technically you can cheese 2 turns off of this boss. That's the first thing. All right, let's just put on auto and get it going. I will show you guys a clip. Maybe I finished this run. I did record a couple runs. This is the team I'm using. By the way, Mithrala is absolutely huge. All right, and you can see the shade counter. The way this works is if you land any weak hit on the boss, it will increase its shade counter, and the boss will put this buff called Enfeeble on your champion that will convert all the hits from that champion to weak hit. And then the boss will use one skill that to spread that debuff. So first thing is that this Enfeeble buff is protected. You cannot remove it, you cannot block it. But the buff spread, all the debuffs, the boss spread, you can remove them, but you cannot block them. That's one thing that the official video said wrong. They said that bringing a immunity champion is super important, but that is not the case because immunity cannot block debuff spread for a protected buff. It will always land. That's why you still need a buff cleanser. Alright, you need maybe 2 cleanser on your team. Let me just show you guys around. Let's see. I still got a stone skin on my Duchess. Right, so I cheesed like 3 turns off of this boss. Like, I bring out Rodos because my Rodos has a high awaken level, right? The thing I realized is, if you have a Charizia that has a high awaken level, you basically win the game, alright? If this is a Charizia, I think you can beat the boss in like 1 minute. It's gonna be super easy. Just pair with a Charizia with a cardio, like the boss is gonna die in 1 minute. Alright, and one more thing is cardio is absolutely insane for this place. The reason being is, like I mentioned before, like the way you're gonna decrease the shade counter is like Awaken Champion use skill against a Kumori, right? But that's kind of confusing, right? The reason being is, what is a skill? It turns out it's not just A2 and A3. If you use A1, it also counts as skill. And moreover, if you use ally attack, it means everybody is using one skill. So let's say if the boss has like 30 turns of shade counter, you use the ally attack champion just to attack the boss, you can clear the shade counter instantly. Assume you have enough awaken level, right? So an ally attack champion is absolutely huge. But again, ally attack champion sometimes can cause you to fail as well. The reason being is, like, if the boss spread the Enfeeble, this debuff here, and your whole team has it, and you do ally attack, the boss is gonna get you 50 shade counter instantly. That's one thing to know also. Alright, let's just see how this run goes out. I didn't really do like any of the speed tuning thing, to be honest. I just let it run out. Okay, so let's see. Everybody on my team has this Enfeeble, which means like all these champions use a skill. All these champions use skill. It's gonna give the boss a shade counter. Alright. Alright, so he has a 10 turns shade counter. My poison is doing 0 damage here. Now I can remove it. Now I can just get it going. Look at this. It decreased 5 turns. The Rodos, the Enfeeble is protected, so I cannot remove it. Look at this. Even if I use A1, it also counts as skill. The boss shade counter will go down. Alright. Alright. Got an Efibo again. Let's see the ally attack. Again, like even if you have all 5 of these champions, it doesn't mean you can do the run. You gotta have enough awaken level. Look at the shade counter. Look at the shade counter. Alright, it's gonna go down instantly. Look at this, because I do have a lot of awaken level. Look at this ally attack. Look at this shade counter. I just use an ally attack, it counter goes down drastically. Alright, now it's 0 turns. Like I said, for this team, I didn't really do any speed tuning stuff, I just let it run down. That's why with this team, I just failed hard on stage 25, because I think on stage 25, you gotta work on the speed tuning stuff. That's how I feel, right? You don't do speed tuning at all for stage 25, it might not work. Are you kidding me? Look at this. The boss just one-shotted me. Alright, he's like 5% HP. But anyways, you guys get the point, right? You guys get the point. The reason that the boss get to 50 shade counter instantly is because the ally attack. The ally attack can help you a lot, but it could also destroy the run. It really depends. So I feel like I'm just gonna wait for some speed tune expert to tune the speed, and I'll just copy their team. But anyways, you guys basically see how it plays out. I was able to get very high success rate with this team, to be honest, and it's a very pay-to-win team, by the way. All right, and Mithrala, free champion. You're gonna use this champion. Mithrala is OP. All right, cardio. I think cardio is also really OP, and I have a 6-star cardio. If you don't have cardio, like I would really recommend to bring a cleanser. Maybe you don't need a auto attack. It's not necessary. A cleanser is gonna be huge. Alright, and Rotos. The only reason I bring a Rotos is because I have a high awaken level Rotos, and he can do a lot of single target damage. That's it. That's the only reason. Like if I have a Charizia, I will 100% bring in a Charizia without a question. And for Theodore, I think Theodore is super OP. The reason being is the way he does damage doesn't require you to hit the boss, right? His A2 is not a hit. His A3 is not a hit. So even if he has Efibo, it just simply does not matter. So I'm thinking a way maybe you can cheese the boss is the boss is always gonna use this Efibo on the target with the highest crit damage. Remember that, alright? So if you just put a lot of crit damage gear on Theodore and cheese the boss to use Efibo on Theodore, I think that might work, because all his damage does not come from hit. Alright, so again, the two champion I think is absolutely huge here. One is Mithrala, second is Theodore. The other three, not necessary, just good champion. Alright, Rotos is the least important one. Just use a Charizia if you have one. That champion is OP. Alright, so yeah, I was able to complete this run a lot. The fastest run is roughly 2 minutes. Stage 22. I tested up a couple runs for this team on stage 25. Wasn't able to do it because I didn't work on speed tune. And the stage 25 boss will cost roughly at least 500 accuracy for your team. So yeah, and for this place, I don't really feel the necessity of farming stage 25, right? Because the only thing that really needs ascension is the crit damage amulet and accuracy resistance banner, and that's it. So even if I can't do stage 25, I think it's totally fine. Like I will be done with this in like 3 months, and I will never have to farm it again. So for players who want to like do the accessory ascension, like I just think you don't need to do stage 25, because you won't need this thing like ever after 3 months, right? You only have this many accessory on your champion, right? It will require much less energy compared to gear ascension. That's just how it is. So again, any team that any content creator put out there, it might not work for you because you don't have the enough ascension. So the design is kind of garbage, I have to say. I don't like that. Unless someone comes up with some cheese strategy, maybe. But if you want to beat this boss the normal way, you gotta need Ascension level. Like, the higher the stage is, the higher the Ascension level you need. Well, not Ascension level, Awaken level. You guys get the point, right? So yeah, that's the overview of this dungeon. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this? Yeah, I just feel like they are trying to design some content so player can spend more money. That's how I feel. Right, they come up with a new dungeon so player have to spend money on the soulstone, and they're gonna release like a Hydra clan tournament, which you're gonna add together the damage of each member's Hydra damage, right? And just kind of do a CVC comparison. But the thing is, I feel like that Hydra competition is also kind of stupid. The reason being is there's one champion that is absolutely unbalanced for Hydra. Like, this champion alone can do 200 million damage, right? On Hydra, one of this champion can do 200 million damage. Think about this. Is this a real Hydra CVC? Or is this a CVC about which clan has more accuracy? Think about what I said, alright? Is there truly a damage competition about Hydra, or total count comparison of accuracy? Whoever has more accuracy wins the fight. That's basically it. So it's so stupid. Like, there's no point of Hydra CVC. So stupid. Alright, anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you like this new dungeon? Let me know. Alright, even if you can't farm stage 25, just don't feel bad about it. You're gonna be done with this thing in like 3 months, and you will never ever have to farm it again. So I'll see you guys in a video soon. Bye.